Hi, welcome to the Eternal Spirit Show. I'm Paul Salmon, I'm a spiritualist medium. My guest today is author and historian John Rest. Hello John.
Hello Paul.
And welcome back.
Yeah, it's lovely to be back and you're looking just as great.
Thank you. Been a few years now.
Yes, many years.
We've got to catch up with what's going on because things have changed.
Yes.
I say things
I haven't changed personally.
No,
you
haven't. I've got a new waistcoat on, mind you.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Very colourful.
But you're back on the radio, but a different station, I believe.
Yes.
Castle Radio. Tell me about Castle
Castle.
Radio Castle.
Yeah. Well, we were based in Framlin. I've been doing it for 3 years now.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, it's a long time. I feel old, Paul. But we've moved recently to Allsoham, and which is near Framlingham.
It's more near me as well.
Yeah, it is, because you were on one of my shows.
I was on one of your shows. I popped in.
You were very good. Very impressed, as always. But no, it's basically, I do a Golden Oldies show once a week on a Sunday, 9 till 11. www.radiocastle.com if anyone wants to watch it, or listen to it rather. And and I do a once a month paranormal chat show called the Ghost and Spirit Show. And
when I came on, you was on there for about 2 hours prior to me being interviewed, with your 1960s shows, your music,
70s as well,
70s. Then you interviewed me, and you became more serious, which you have to actually.
Yeah.
But what do you prefer? Do you prefer like being yourself and playing the music and not messing around, but messing around in your own way, or interviewing people more seriously?
I enjoy both, to be honest. It's easy for me to sort of switch mode.
Yeah, I noticed.
Because some people said, I don't want to go on his show because when he interviews us about ghosts and that, he's going to be really stupid and that, muck about. But, I totally changed. But I just feel for a Golden Oldies show, I throw in a bit of comedy, jokes and that. But as you said, with interviewing someone who's a medium and that, you've got to be serious because they might just think I'm taking the mickey out.
Yeah, well, I'll just put you right there.
You did. Told me off.
But has anyone compared you to Kenny Everett?
Oh, I don't know what you're on about. All in the best possible taste.
But there's a mix of that there.
Yes, Well, he was a great inspiration, good old Kenny. I'm sure he's up there now watching down.
Well, it's like a mix of him and a mix of your personality as well.
Yeah.
Because you do come over like him, so I don't think you're trying to be like him as such.
It's just my natural personality.
It's your personality, which I think is great.
Yeah.
Some might not.
No, some people might not like it,
Some like me. Oh, right.
But no, I mean, I just try to be myself on the radio, and I don't want to be sort of one of these sort of DJs that's, man, listen to the music, it's so great, and I just want to be humorous and make people laugh.
What is it about the 60s you like? Or the early 70s?
Wow, the music was wonderful. Much better than the music now, I hasten to add, in my personal opinion. And the fashions were great. Some of the time, some of them a bit weird. But no, I just loved that whole period, the films, the TV. I mean, when you compare TV with TV back in the 70s, to me, it was so much better. All these great shows you had, Man About the House, On the Buses. I don't think there's anything like that now, to be honest.
But who have you got lined up? Who have you got lined up, but what guests have you had as well on your ghost show?
I've had. Now you've called me. I can't remember all, but I had you on there, and
right. Let's put it this way.
Amanda Hart was another one.
Is it all mediums you have on there?
Oh no, I had a lady that did. She specialised in reincarnation. I had a lady who was a psychic artist. Mediums, another lady who sort of did motivational courses. So it's not just mediums, it's sort of anyone from that sort of walk of life, shall we say.
A bit like this, where I'll do mind, body, spirit.
Yeah. Not that I was copying you, Paul.
John, right, away from the radio, you're a writer, like I said, author, but you write for Psychic News now.
I do every month.
How did that come about?
Well, you know me, I sort of push myself.
Yes.
Yeah, I push myself. I just contacted them and I said, I've got a good idea for a series on famous hauntings. And they said, well, write one. So the very first one I did was about a church in London called The Mystery of Jimmy Garlick, I think was the title. And it was about this mummy that had been seen in the church. Because a lot of people assume churches aren't haunted, and they are. There's loads of churches that are haunted, especially in Suffolk as well. And they loved it, and they said, could you do one every month? And I've been writing for over a year now. And now it's sold in America, and it goes down well. Apparently famous people read it. Yuri Geller's read it and liked it.
Yeah, I've read it.
Yeah, you like it. You're famous too.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And how do you get your subject matter? Do they hint at something for you to write about, or is it up to you?
It's up to me. As long as I do it about ghosts, they're happy. I mean, I just pick out stories that I think are really fascinating. I mean, I did one about Langenhoe Church in Essex, which was really strange. A vicar was embraced by a naked ghost. A lady as well. She was lucky there, but That's just sort of strange stories that perhaps people haven't heard of, but were famous in their day that have been forgotten now.
Yeah. I mean, Psychic News is a renowned magazine, isn't it?
It is, yeah, sold all over the world now.
Exactly. And what about other magazines? What other magazines have you written for?
Suffolk and Norfolk Life, I've done...
Was that the one we were both in?
We were in there.
What was that?
I remember the photo shoot well. It was freezing at Framlingham Castle.
Yeah.
And we looked very good on camera,
I thought
didn't
we
we?
did.
No, so I've written a couple of pieces for them. I've done 3 other articles on ghosts, and they're going to use them, but I don't know when. Perhaps next month, Christmas time. Who knows?
But I knew you had an interest in ghosts years ago.
As a kid.
What is it about ghosts?
Well, I blame my mum for that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. She's up there now, probably listening. But no, she had loads of books on ghosts, and I used to read them behind her back because she probably said, "Oh, don't read it, you'll have nightmares." But no, I just was fascinated by it, and I read a book by a ghost hunter from the 1930s called Elliot O'Donnell. And I thought, God, this is a really interesting subject. I'd like to do that one day. I never thought I would, or even write about it. But so that's where it all stems from. It's just a fascinating subject, life after death, and it ties in with history as well. So,
well, if you wondered, blame John, because you're the one.
What have I done now?
You got me involved in these ghost hunts we did together.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was years ago now, wasn't it?
That's when you come on my radio programme in Ipswich.
And I said to you, "Do you want to do a ghost hunt?" And you said no. I felt really upset.
So you asked me again.
And I asked you again, you still said no.
I said no.
And then the third time you said yes.
Well, to shut you up.
Yeah, no.
But I'm glad you did, because that's a whole new ball game for me now.
Yeah.
That's opened up more, wider scope for me.
We did 5 films, didn't we? One in Felixstowe, Lengard 4, and we went out to Leiston Abbey, where you had an interesting experience with a black sheep. Do you remember that?
Well, yes, with sheep and something black, but the black thing wasn't the sheep.
No, it was like I thought it was a dog.
Well, I saw this black object, and Sarah, my manager as well, saw it as we were packing up filming. We just packed up filming, hadn't we?
We had. I never saw it.
And me and Sarah walked behind you, and we both saw this black ball with a tail. You know how things go fast.
Yes, yeah.
And behind the back of our legs. And Sarah looked at me, and we both said together, "Did you see that?" Then you said, "What did you see?"
Because I'd be back to you. Typical, isn't it?
And it wasn't until afterwards you said, "Oh, maybe it's Black Shuck."
Yeah, I did.
The devil ghost dog of East Anglia.
Yeah.
Based on the coast, which is quite renowned for haunting particular churches as well.
Exactly. It's supposed to be bad luck to see it, but nothing happened to you.
Well, not yet. Touch wood.
No, within a year it's supposed to happen.
Yeah, but just after that, in the national newspaper, they dug up bones of a hound.
A massive dog. I remember near the spot where you saw it.
And they said, "Could this be Black Shuck?"
Yeah. And not only that, if you remember, because at the time I said, well, I'm not aware of any legends about a black dog connected with Leiston Abbey.
No.
There is one with Leiston Church. And then you could call it synchronicity, but I was at home flicking through a book on haunted churches, and it fell open at a particular page, and I saw Leiston Abbey.
Yeah.
And I read it, and it turned out that people had seen a black dog running through the grounds. And I thought, well, had they just seen a black shape and assumed it was a dog? But I just thought that was really amazing. Now, you wouldn't have known about that. There was nothing on the net about that dog supposedly haunting that abbey.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, that's validation.
But you can see how legends gain momentum, because we saw a black shape.
Yeah.
Now, you might have said, was it the size of a dog? And I might have said, yeah, sure. Yeah. Then you tell someone else and they say, oh, it had 4 big legs, and then it gets turned into this
glowing eyes and horns, things like that.
There you go. It seems a long time ago now, John.
Yeah, a few years, yeah. We still look as good though as we did then.
Don't we just?
Yeah.
But moving on, you're a bit of a celebrity now.
Yes.
Have you been spotted walking around Norwich? And
yeah, I was recognised the other day again. Someone said to me, hold on, you've been on the telly, haven't you? I said, yeah, Mustard TV. And
Mustard TV, tell us about how you got involved there.
Well, I've been on there. I was actually on there.
Did you just phone them up?
Yeah. Again, I chased them up, Paul. I've been on there 7 times now. I was on there yesterday, and I just contacted them and said, look, I'm a historian, blah blah blah, and could I come on your show? And I went on there. And the first one I was talking about folklore, witchcraft, and witch bottles, and fairies, and things like that. And apparently I went down so well that they've kept inviting me back. So, and hopefully I'm going to be doing some sort of outside filming with them, perhaps a cookery thing.
Yeah, tell me about this cookery idea.
Well, I said to them, what about cooking through the ages? A bit like Blue Peter is one we made earlier. Like the Romans, Tudors, Stuarts, things like that. And they liked the idea.
Yeah.
I did want to do some ghost stuff with them, but they said no.
But that can only be seen in Norfolk.
Yes, yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
But
you can watch it on demand if you go on their website, Mustard TV.
I did manage to. Well, you showed me a clip of you talking about the Beatles.
Yeah, that was that was a couple of months ago now.
You seem to talk about, I don't know, quite a very wide range of stuff. But then I think you're on there because of your personality as well. Because you've got this, like, how do you describe it?
Mad.
Mad
Zany, I don't know, yeah. I try to be myself on there and throw in a bit of humour.
No, but you bring things to life, you know?
Yeah, because I thought when I first went on there, should I be really serious like one of these historians on BBC Two? You know, yes, we're at this ruin now, isn't it wonderful? And I thought, well, just be natural and throw in a bit of humour, because that way you catch people more, in my opinion.
Well, it got you on here again.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. You might be regretting it now, Paul.
Yes.
I hope not.
What's coming up for you? What future plans have you got? Any?
Oh yeah, well I've got I'll still be going back on Mustard, like hopefully doing this cookery thing. I never thought I'd be a TV cook.
No, nor did I.
Yeah, well, you have to watch that. But no, I'm actually going to be doing a TV series up in York for a company called Made Television, and they've got 4 of the regions now because they deregulated everything. Is that the word, deregulated? I don't know.
I believe so.
Yeah, and because basically the old TV channels weren't producing enough local content, so I went to them with the idea, you know, Ghosts and Legends of York, but not like most haunted, because I think that's been done to death, to be honest. Yeah. And they said, yeah, love the idea. So we're just searching out the funding at the moment. So I've written the scripts. It's a 6-part series. Yeah. Things like Dick Turpin, the Romans, the Vikings, Christmas special, might be next year now, Halloween special, and if it's a success, they said, well, you can go to the other regions, because one's in Bristol and Newcastle, and do the same sort of thing.
Yeah, excellent. So would you be having, like you're presenting it, would you be having different guests on each week, or?
I'd be the main presenter. There'd be a co-presenter.
I'm not after a part, mind you.
No, you could be in a future show. I don't mind. But no, it's just basically have guests each week, perhaps a local historian. You know, perhaps if we feature something on Dick Turpin, apparently there's a Dick Turpin expert up there, and we could interview him, things like that.
Excellent.
But I'm more keen to sort of emphasise the history and tie in the ghosts and legends with it, rather than sort of running around a haunted place screaming at every bang, you know, as we used to do.
What, being a historian and having an interest in that, what if you could choose to live in a time scale, where would you be?
Oh, dear.
Knights set.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd like to. I don't think I'd like to live there permanently, though, because obviously,
if you're going to like a week or so,
I think the Romans and probably the 1650s over here, when Oliver Cromwell was Lord Protector. Those would be the 2 different periods. I'd love to meet Cleopatra, see if she's as attractive as they made out. Yeah. But no, that's something like that. But I wouldn't want to stay there, because obviously, you know, I love me creature comforts. I'd miss the TV and showers and flushing loos and that. I know the Romans had, running water, but their toilets weren't as good as ours. Bit ponny, I think.
On that note, we'll leave it there.
Yeah, okay then, yeah.
And John, it's been interesting having you on my show again today.
Oh, what a firm grip he's got.
I have, actually.
Yes. Do it again.
I hope you enjoyed meeting my guest, John Rest, and watch out for him on Mustard TV, if you can. And it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
And see you next time.